Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we're going to be talking about the Fujifilm GFX 50R. Now, I rented this camera last week. I've been dying to use Fujifilm's medium format cameras because they are very affordable. As a matter of fact, the GFX 50R is currently on sale for $34.99. Now, to put that into perspective, medium format camera at the same price as the high-end full-frame cameras. It is insane. But ever since Fujifilm really kind of announced their medium format cameras, that was the goal, right? Getting the price down and really making medium format available to the masses. With that being said, a few years ago, the cheapest medium format camera was $30,000. So the fact that you're able to actually buy one at this price point is insane, and it's just always been in the back of my mind. Would medium format give me different results? Would it give me the medium format look? What would the experience be like? So I finally rented the camera and used it during an engagement session. Now, I used my EOS R and the 50R during this engagement session, so expect a comparison next week, but this video is strictly on my first impressions. Now, just like all my videos, I will be putting up pictures above so you guys can see the images I was able to capture. But for my first impressions, I really want to cover three things. I want to cover the focusing system, image quality, and then usability. So for the focusing system, we're looking at a contrast-based focusing system. It does have face and eye detection, and this camera has been really, in all the reviews, everything I've read, it's just been called slow. Now, it's a medium format camera, and usually these cameras aren't known for speed. And I was really surprised by its focusing system. It is contrast-based, but it was very accurate. So when I was using the camera and when it kind of gave me that little green box that it was in focus, it was usually spot on. I don't think I missed any shots due to the focusing system. Now, in an engagement session, you don't really have lots of movement, or fast movement, I should say, for the camera to struggle with. I did try a few shots of the couple actually walking towards me, and the camera did struggle a bit there, but again, it's moving a lot more glass with medium format lenses, and it is a contrast-based system, not the fastest, but it wasn't terrible. So when you're looking at this camera, of course it's not for sports. I wouldn't use it during a wedding when a bride's walking down the aisle. But other than that, like, it's slow, but it's not a horrible experience. But I would trust this camera in regular situations like engagement sessions or family sessions. So the autofocusing system, it's definitely not on par with the Sonys and the Canons, but for a medium format, it was pretty surprising. Now for image quality, here's a part where I was really impressed. So usually you hear this medium format look, right? What does that mean? Medium format's associated with more depth of field, more bokeh, right? You have a bigger sensor, which means more blur. That's not really accurate. We're still really relying on the lenses. So with the older film medium format cameras, you had fast lenses, right? Like an 80mm, I think 1.4, or you had 1.4s, 1.8s, 2.0 lenses. And the one I used during this session was a 63mm f2.8. Now this lens gives you the similar focal length as a 50mm. Here's where medium format stands out. So unlike crop lenses, you actually have a reverse crop factor, which means we're actually getting the compression of a 63mm lens, but the focal length of a 50, right? So you have that tighter compression, and that's where you would get the more depth of field or the medium format look. But it's still a 2.8 lens, which means the RF 50mm 1.2 will still give you more bokeh. Now, Fuji has really focused on making small, compact lenses for this system. I think they only have one lens that's an f2, but they just announced actually a few weeks ago 80mm f1.7 for this system, and now that lens will probably give you that medium format pop. It'll give you that crazy blur, and super excited to check that out when it comes out. But for now, I use a 63 f2.8, and the background blur was nothing to really write about, right? It wasn't medium format-y, it wasn't anything impressive. The RF 50 1.2 just blew out the background so much more. But the colors, the tones, the highlights, this sensor is just absolutely stunning. Where I think the lens disappointed me, the camera just completely blew me away. The colors are so rich. The skin tones just look phenomenal. And here is where medium format shines, the detail. Seeing these files really made it clear to me that There's a reason why medium format is used for fashion photography, for magazines, for billboards, just because of the fact that this large sensor captures so much more detail and colors than a full frame camera. If you're going for background blur, if you're going for bokeh, and that's all you really care about, full frame will really kind of win here, right? Just because of the fact that Fuji doesn't have many fast autofocusing lenses. You can adapt lenses, but I'm looking at it from a native lens perspective. But when you compare the colors, the highlight roll off, and the tones, this medium format sensor just absolutely spanks a full frame camera. It is just unbelievable. And here's where I was really impressed the most, which leads me to my third point, usability. So medium format cameras have traditionally been known for cameras that need to be on a tripod, right? That have slow autofocusing systems. Just not really meant for day-to-day use. The 50R really proves that medium format is the future. So this is Fuji's first attempt at a medium format camera, and it is extremely usable. The autofocusing is extremely accurate. Not the fastest, but it does the job. And the image quality is just absolutely amazing. And again, this is the 50R, right? So this is the $3,500 model. Fuji does have a $10,000 model out that has better autofocusing that pretty much solves all the issues this model has. So to think that we're like maybe a year or two from Fuji releasing the GFX 100 technology into a smaller body, maybe more affordable, I'm just completely blown away. This camera as it stands is very usable. If you want to use it for family sessions, for engagement sessions, or even just for the wedding portrait sessions, this camera is just absolutely gorgeous. And at 3,500 bucks, wow. So my first impressions, I was really impressed by the GFX 50R, and I was impressed for all the reasons I wasn't expecting, right? I was expecting to have this crazy background blur and be like, wow, look at this bokeh. And in the end, the colors, the tones, the highlight roll off, it just completely won me over. And this camera is just so good. Am I gonna buy it? The answer is no. So I'm gonna wait. I'm definitely going to pick up a medium format camera in the future. I think it is the future, the way technology is trending, right? Bigger sensor, more detail, and as it gets more affordable and faster, that's definitely the way that I think cameras will go in the next maybe 5 years. But for now, I'm going to hold off until that kind of next model comes out, until Fuji releases faster lenses, kind of like that 80mm 1.7. That will really just kind of create the perfect combo, right? To have the medium format colors, tones, and then to have that crazy bokeh, right? So overall, I had a really good time with this camera, and at 3,500 bucks, I almost bought it. It was so tempting, but I decided to go with something else. I'll do a video on that too as well, and I'll cover why I did that. But those are my first impressions, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. In my next video, I will compare the 50R files with the EOS R files, so you guys can see the difference of medium format versus full frame and kind of the depth of field I spoke about. But as always, please like this video, please subscribe, it really helps the channel, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.